Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back. I hope you are having a fantastic day. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing a little bit of an exciting perimenopause journey update. If you are new to my channel or if this is one of your first videos here, I have actually been documenting my perimenopause journey on my channel for the last year or so. I am 46 years old and I have noticed probably for the last 3-4 years that there have been some changes going on in my body. I have had a lot of different tests to see if those changes are related to, other issues other than my hormones. However, all of the tests have come back fine. And so just based on my age, based on my symptoms, based on the fact that my mother and my Oma went through menopause really early in life, all signs point to my hormones being way out of whack. So I've shared a lot of videos talking about the symptoms. I've shared a lot of videos talking about my struggle to try to get on hormone replacement therapy with my doctor. And thankfully, finally, this last visit that I had with her, she went ahead and prescribed HRT for me. So today's video, I just kind of want to share what that journey is going to look like for me. And I just want to share how that appointment went. And my hope is that maybe if you are struggling as well, trying to either convince your doctor to give it to you, maybe I can give you some hope. Maybe, maybe my story will encourage you to go in and have a more serious conversation with your doctor, or maybe it will encourage you to find a different doctor. I don't know, but I am really happy to see so many women talking about this, because when I was growing up, my mom had me when she was pretty young. She was a teenager when she gave birth to me. So I very clearly remember being about 15 years old myself and really starting to notice a lot of changes in my mom. I actually think that I mostly started noticing the changes actually probably around the time that I was in middle school. My mom was only 16 when she had me, so you can see that like her perimenopause started quite early if I started noticing changes in my mom when I was in middle school. So I just noticed that she became a lot more irritable, and like she was having a really hard time with her periods, and there were a lot of other symptoms that she was dealing with. And I really kind of feel like my mom's doctors didn't necessarily listen to her super well, and she just kind of lost her crap one day and was like, I'm having a hysterectomy. And so she did. My mom had a hysterectomy very early in life because she was like, this has to be my solution, right? Like her doctors really weren't, and maybe it was because at that time in the 90s, like there wasn't as much information about hormone replacement therapy. I don't know what the deal was, but I just know that my mom struggled and it was hard to watch, and I just know she had a hysterectomy very early in life. And so for me, when I started noticing some changes in my early 40s, I was like, oh no. I am now the crabby woman that my mom was back when I was a teenager. And it just kind of went downhill very quickly for me. I have had so many symptoms over the last several years, and I wouldn't say they were completely debilitating, but they were definitely obnoxious enough, noticeable enough that they did affect my everyday life. So again, I have this whole series here on my channel where there's a lot of videos talking about symptoms and things like that. But just really quickly, a few of the key things that I noticed were that I am dealing with constant nausea from the hormone fluctuations. My ears, I've been getting chronic ear infections now for a couple of years. I became severely anemic because my periods went from being perfectly normal my entire life to being extremely severe By the way, my anemia is no longer an issue. I took iron pills for a year and I built up my iron stores again. And so that's great. Honestly, that anemia was causing me to lose my hair. I lost a lot of hair last year. Thankfully, it is regrowing. So a lot of issues with just feeling overly tired, irritable, angry, brain fog. In the mornings, just not feeling well rested, not being able to sleep for days and days on end. Like those are just a few of my personal symptoms, and it really got to the point where I was like, I can't do this anymore. I need something. However, here was the issue. Back in 2013, I had a breast reduction. I had very big boobs, just genetically. That was my lot in life. They got even bigger after I was done breastfeeding my daughter, and I didn't want to, I was tired of that. I decided to have a breast reduction. Best decision of my life, by the way. If you are someone with a large chest and you have always considered a breast reduction, I literally cannot encourage you enough to do it if you are able to. See if your insurance will cover it. Figure out a way to pay for it out of pocket if you have to. It is the best thing that's ever happened to me. My back pain just was like gone, just gone. I am no longer carrying around like huge teats, and it is fantastic. It is the one cosmetic procedure with probably the most like patient satisfaction rate afterwards. So if you've always thought about it, I just cannot recommend it enough. However, doing that surgery, having that surgery done, did then probably predispose me to having issues with mammograms when the time came to start having mammograms. And yes, like clockwork, my first mammogram came back with a lump. I actually had that mammogram because one, I was due for one, but also I wanted to get on HRT, and my family care doctor said that, you know, if I wanted to get on HRT first, I needed to get that mammogram done. And since it was time anyway, go do it. So I did it, came back with the lump, and the doctor was like, nope, we're not giving you HRT. We are going to instead monitor you for 2 years with ultrasounds. They did not want to do a biopsy on the lump. They are obviously aware that I had a breast reduction, and for whatever reason, my insurance, we all love insurance companies, does not want to cover a biopsy for this lump. They will cover 2 years of ultrasounds every 6 months, and so I have now completed my first year of ultrasounds. The lump did not change at all. I am going in for a mammogram at the kind of middle end of January, and at that time I will have another ultrasound the same day to specifically look at the lump. And I'm expecting the radiologist to once again tell me the lump did not change. That lump is scar tissue. Like, I know that I'm not a doctor, but I have had several different radiologists now look at my ultrasounds, and they have all said that is scar tissue, that is not cancer. So anyway, moral of the story is I felt very confident after that year of ultrasounds to approach my doctor again and basically just at this point beg her, please just give me the HRT. Now I see a family care physician, just, you know, for all of my ear infections, for all of the other stuff that I deal with, and she's been great. She's a wonderful doctor, but she's also very conservative when it comes to hormone replacement therapy. She's not a gynecologist, so obviously she's not trained in depth in hormone replacement therapy, so I understand her hesitation. She's just trying to keep me safe. And just so you guys are aware, I am still on several different waiting lists with gynecologists that take my insurance that I will hopefully see in the future regarding the HRT stuff. And then I will just see my regular family care doctor for all of, you know, the other stuff. But I have not heard back from any of those gynecologists. The waiting lists are long. They are substantial, and of course they are. It's America. Anyway, so I went to my doctor. I was due for a PAP. I was due for a regular checkup. And as, you know, we were going through and we were talking, I I almost started crying because I was like, look, I mean, I know that you would rather have me complete the, second year of the ultrasounds, but I really can't do this anymore. My symptoms are getting worse all the time. I feel so defeated, and I am willing to accept the risks of the hormone replacement therapy. I just feel really confident that the lump in my boob is not cancer, and I'm willing to sign whatever you need me to sign just to be able to try the HRT. I need some relief. I am not getting it from supplements. I have tried a lot of supplements. If you're going to recommend supplements, I already take them. They do provide a little bit of relief. Listen, if that's all you can do, there's a little bit of relief from a lot of these supplements that a lot of people recommend. However, it is not enough for me. My hormones at this point have taken too big of a dump, I think, for ashwagandha to really solve the problem. So, and it's not just ashwagandha that I'm taking some other things as well. But moral of the story is she finally relented, and she prescribed it, you guys. I have it. So I started it hasn't been quite a week yet, but I should be able to see whether the dosage that I have here, and I'll tell you what I'm taking and the dosage here in a second. I should be able to see at the month mark whether the dosage is the proper one for me or whether we need to go up in dose. What she started me on is probably the pretty typical dose that most people get for estrogen and progesterone. So I feel pretty confident that this is a good starting place. I don't anticipate this to be the end of the journey here. There could be adjustments that need to be made, but you know what? For the first time in probably at least 2 years, I am hopeful that I can start the new year not feeling like hot garbage every day of my life. It affects me at work. It affects me at home. It affects me in that I have withdrawn from, a lot of people in my everyday life. I really haven't spent as much time with friends as I've wanted to, just because a lot of times I just don't feel like doing things. I'm irritable, I'm crabby, I don't want to expose other people to that. And so, I just now feel like maybe I can get back to feeling like my usual, somewhat hopeful, less angry, less ragey self. And I can live a better life. That's really all that I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a miracle. I just really want to go back to feeling like I did a few years ago. I don't need to feel like I did when I was 20. I'm not 20 anymore. I'm 46. It's a big time gap. A lot of time has elapsed, and of course things are going to change. But the degree to which things have changed has been, I would consider, unacceptable, especially since we have medications in place to deal with these things. Now, not everybody is a candidate for HRT. Some people have genetics that do not allow them to take HRT. Maybe you have, the breast cancer gene that, is the type of breast cancer that is specifically fueled by estrogen. In that case, you would not be a candidate. If you've ever had breast cancer, typically they won't give you HRT. I feel really bad for all the women out there that are just, raw dogging it, that do not have this option. I'm very thankful that, I have this, but also I am aware, just so you guys know, I am aware that this could do nothing for me. There are people that have sent me messages that have said, I tried HRT, it wasn't, the solution that I was hoping it would be. But I tell you what, I would say well over 90% of the people that have shared their stories with me have said that HRT was life-changing for them. And so that is the reason why I pushed so hard, is because the vast majority of people said this was a game changer for me. They immediately felt better, they lost weight, they felt like they could think more clearly, they just felt that everything in life got a little bit easier for them. And that is why I pushed so hard with my doctor. And she spent 45 minutes with me. What I will say for this woman is that she always takes the time. She will sit there, she will talk to me. I actually asked her to explain to me exactly how HRT works and to dumb it down so that, my little non-medical brain here could get it. And the way that she described it is, we are going to give you estrogen, we're going to give you progesterone, you are going to take those things into your body. That information will then travel up to your brain where the natural hormones are created, and essentially your own body will recognize that there is another source of estrogen and progesterone, and it will quiet your own production in your brain. And so the only estrogen and progesterone that you'll really get will be from the external source. So, and that external source is consistent. So it is a consistent amount of estrogen. It's a consistent amount of progesterone. This is why I have been feeling like garbage, is because I don't think either is consistent in my body right now, and it leads to a lot of really negative symptoms. Honestly, the nausea alone, I am so over being nauseous all the time. And some people have started sharing with me that they also deal with nausea, and a lot of other people have said like, oh, you must have gut issues. I was tested for GERD and a bunch of like other, gut issues that can cause nausea. I don't have any of those things. That is not my problem. If you think about women who are pregnant, whose hormones are fluctuating quite a bit, especially in the beginning of their pregnancy. I was one of those women that dealt with horrific morning sickness. When I was pregnant with my daughter, I was so sick. From the time that I was probably 5-6 weeks along, which is when I actually found out I was pregnant, until I was 7 months along with Stella, I was nauseous every day. I was on Zofran every single day of my life. That was how I was able to go to work. Is I got up in the morning, I was sick, just nauseous. It was awful. I took the Zofran. It took the edge off the nausea, and I was able to go into work, and I was still able to earn my paycheck, but it wasn't pleasant. I wasn't one of those women that loved being pregnant. I love my kid. I would obviously do it over and over again for her, but I certainly did not have any more additional children after that, because I was like, absolutely not. I could not function, and that was just not an option for our family, because I have to work. Like I can't just, we needed the money, right? Like we're having a kid. Like I can't just like not work. So that was just not going to be an option. And so the Zofran was it for me. I took it and it certainly helped, but it just goes to show you that like my hormones, I guess in particular, just kind of make me predisposed to that nausea, and it is rough, you guys. The waves of nausea would hit at the most inopportune times. On our anniversary dinner this past year, when Craig and I were at our favorite restaurant, as soon as the food arrived, wave of nausea. I had to sit there for 10 minutes while Craig started eating dinner. I had to wait for it to pass. And luckily it passed fairly quickly, and I enjoyed my cold meat. Because by the time that I actually could start eating, like the steak was already cold. So, yeah, it just like, it's been rough, and I'm just incredibly hopeful going forward. So anyway, that was the whole reason for me doing this. So let me tell you what I'm on. She prescribed a brand name called Climera, and these are estradiol transdermal system patches. I have a 0.05 milligram a day patch. This is the way that they come. They're literally patches that you take out of this little thing here, and you replace them once a week. You either place them on the front of your hip or on kind of the back of your hip above your butt. I placed mine on the front of my hip just because I was like, that seems like a great location. And the patch has now been on me for, I think this is the 5th day. I don't know that I necessarily feel anything happening quite yet. So, but the patch is staying attached really well. One thing I am going to do, and that I would encourage you to do as well, and several of you on Instagram suggested that I do this. You said, go check GoodRx, because I paid $90 through my insurance. That was my copay. I paid $90 for the month of estrogen and the month of progesterone. So $90 a month would be my cost going forward if I didn't look for coupons or ways to save on this stuff. It turns out that GoodRx actually has some pretty good coupons for the transdermal patches. So I might actually, next month when I'm due to get a refill, I might go ahead and just use GoodRx instead of my insurance because I think it's gonna save me a little bit more money. It turns out that the progesterone is probably gonna be a little bit more affordable on my insurance as compared to what I saw it going for at GoodRx. So there are ways to save money with this, so I'm certainly gonna try those things. But you know what? If this cost me $500 a month, if it helps me feel better, I will frickin' figure out a way. I will get another job. I will, I don't know, I hear feet pics are a hot commodity. Like, I will figure it out because I'm so tired of feeling this way, and I will do what it takes to get this medication in my body if it works for me. So again, I don't know yet what the final results are going to be. I might need to up the dosage of estrogen. I have what I think is a pretty average dose. By the way, the progesterone is progesterone micro 100 milligram capsules. So I'm supposed to take the progesterone every single evening. That was the instruction in the little packet. And then obviously the patch just lives on my skin. And I put a little note on my box here, change Mondays. So wait, it's only been 3 days. Yeah. It has only been 3 days since I've been, see, this is another thing where my memory is just so freaking off right now. So anyway, I am gonna be changing these patches every single Monday. I figured that Monday is probably, you know, it's the start of the week, easy to remember. And what I'm actually most excited about is that if this works for me, I can get off the Paxil. My physician actually put me on Paxil, which is an antidepressant, because sometimes Paxil can help with hot flashes, which I definitely deal with, and it can also help with sleep. Turns out Paxil did not help me with hot flashes. It did not help me with sleep, but I think that I was definitely dealing with some depression just because of all the symptoms I was dealing with. And it has leveled out my mood a little bit. I certainly do not feel depressed. I have actually been on antidepressants at other points in my life, specifically for depression. So I am not against being on Paxil, but if I don't have to be on it, I want to get off of it. So, you know, I think once my body kind of levels out, I won't have that sadness or depression or, you know, constantly be thinking about all of my symptoms and how miserable I am. And that can definitely have an effect on my brain as well, I think. And I might not need the, you know, the artificial boost from the Paxil anymore. I'm on a pretty low dose. It'll be easy for me to get off of. And I'm just very much looking forward to that. So anyway, you guys, that is my update. I will kind of, I guess, going forward, update you guys at the 1 month mark. I will update you at the maybe 2 or 3 month mark, and then I will just kind of share maybe as needed, maybe a couple times a year how things are going. Certainly it could be that we have to adjust the dosage, you know, as I continue to age. Ideally, she does not want me to be on hormone replacement therapy for more than 10 years. I don't think it's gonna take me personally that long to get to actual menopause. I think that my body is definitely going to go through it fairly soon based on just how fast things are tanking. So yeah, and I don't know what will be beyond that. 10 years is a long time in the future when it comes to medical research and new developments, and there could be other things that come down the pipeline later on that can help me manage, you know, after menopause, and it's great. I'm very thankful for modern medicine. I am thankful that I don't have to suffer the way that my mom did, or that my Oma did, or all of the women before us. There is help available. You have to find the right doctor. Or you have to be good, I guess, at convincing the doctor that you have, like I essentially had to do. But, you know, healthcare is a collaborative effort. Like, obviously, the doctor is the expert in terms of they went to medical school. They know a lot more than I do. But also, I've done a lot of research and I know my body, and I just feel very confident in giving this the old college try. And like I said, who knows? I am hopeful. I'm excited. I feel in a better mood already just because I have the opportunity to at least try. So also, I will continue to be monitored for the lump in my boob. Like I said, in January, going for my mammogram. I'm also going for my ultrasound. I will have another ultrasound in July, and then I will have one more ultrasound to finish out the full 2 years next January. So, and after that, if the lump has not changed at all, then we just go forward with yearly mammograms and we just watch, see what happens. So I don't really have a family history of breast cancer. I have a family history of a lot of other things, but you know, my doctor knows about all of that, and she definitely felt confident in finally prescribing this for me. So we're gonna do it. I'll update you guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Leave your frustrations down below. In fact, let me know what your most annoying symptoms are. It's always kind of fun, not fun, that's the wrong word, but interesting, I guess, to read what other people go through in terms of how the hormones affect their body. It is different for every single person. You might just be someone who experiences extreme rage. I've had women say, like, I literally have no other symptom other than I have the shortest temper ever and I can't stand anyone anymore. I understand that. I've had those moments. So yeah, let me know what your most irritating or interesting symptoms are. Leave them down below. Check out the whole perimenopause journey if you're new here. I really appreciate you guys being along for the ride. I'll continue to update you. So yeah, thanks a lot, and happy HRT. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.